Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Purple Surfer podcast. My name's Andy Steele.
I'm Sophie Holmes.
And today we're having a special edition of the podcast. We're going to be celebrating Sophie's 15th anniversary at 360.
Yeah.
So what date did you join 360?
The 4th of July 2011.
So just over 15 years now.
Yes.
Tell us about the lead up to the 4th of July 2011. Tell us about your education, when you first discovered you were interested in accountancy, how you discovered 360.
So I went to South Hunsley and did my GCSEs, and I stayed on there to do my A-levels.
What A-levels did you do?
I did business, maths and economics, and then I did English Lit in the first year and dropped it.
Because it was too hard?
No, you did 4 and then you dropped down to 3 in the second year at that point. Might have changed since then. And I also did general studies, but that one I didn't do so well in. I went to a careers event like we do now. You know, we're going to talk about accountancy when I was in year 10, year 11. And Kaplan were there, who's the training provider I studied with. And it was a gentleman called Graham, who I just went round and spoke to everybody, found out a little bit, and he just sold me on accountancy there and then. I was thinking about doing law before that. But I came out of it going, I'm going to be an accountant. That's what I'm going to do. Didn't know what that meant. Didn't know what an accountant did. So my parents spoke to a family friend who was an accountant. He came and spoke to me a little bit. And you know, my first question was sort of, well, what do you do? I've decided that's what I want to do, but what is an accountant?
Do you know the answers to that question?
I'd like to think I've got a little bit better idea now. And then I went to Kaplan's summer school over the summer holidays to learn a little bit, put it on my CV, get a bit more experience.
So was this in 2010 then? Was this when you were halfway through your A-levels?
Yeah, it must either the year I was going into A-levels or in between that first year. And then I didn't want to go to university. It wasn't for me. So I started looking at apprenticeships. And it was, you know, the old-fashioned way, sending letters out. I think I found the advert online on the website.
360 advert, yeah.
Yeah, on the website at that point. I don't know if it was a letter or an email that I sent in, and then got an offer for an interview in, I think it was about the April, because it was before I'd started my exams.
So April 2011. So you came along for an interview in our old offices in Melton?
Yeah, so my dad dropped me off, waited outside, and then took me home.
So how old were you at this point?
17.
Yeah.
So I remember going into reception, you know, saying I was here to meet you for an interview. You came and met me. We walked across the bottom floor of the building, over the car park, up the stairs, along into our offices.
Our offices were miles away from reception.
Remember running, trying to keep up with you down the corridor.
Yeah, still have that problem, don't you?
Yeah.
So you were offered an apprenticeship. You accepted it.
Yep.
Did your A-levels.
Did my A-levels.
Did okay in your A-levels.
Did okay. Did better in things like business.
Yeah.
But I started a week after my exams finished. So I started on the 4th of July, got my results in the August. So I'd been sort of working 6 weeks at that point.
So what do you remember about your first day?
I don't know if it was the first day, but it was definitely in the first week, having my first ever headshots. And having those done. Just loads of...
I wonder if we can find those.
We've got it on the mugs.
We have. Yeah. We'll grab those in a minute.
We've got... Yeah, they're there somewhere. But we did... Just remember being shown loads and just trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Being
first
shown...
few days can be quite daunting, really, can't they?
Yeah, just being shown systems and everything. Like we abbreviate stuff, or we had nicknames for things, and just trying to learn what somebody meant when they said something, because that wasn't necessarily the name of it. There's a lot
of jargon in accounting.
Yeah, just trying to remember everyone's names, who was who at the time, what everyone drank for a cup of tea.
So you started studying your AAT qualification.
Yes.
Did you do like at college or online or?
So I did it in person at Kaplan on Lowgate in Hull.
Yeah.
Apprenticeships were slightly different at that point, so there wasn't the level of like restrictions there are now, where you've got to do it in certain times and endpoint assessments and things. So I started in the September, and I did my level 2, 3, and 4 in 18 months.
So you finished your AAT qualification in 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did you do?
So in that summer, I started doing ACCA.
Yeah.
Again, at that point, you could only do 2 sittings a year, summer and winter. So I doubled up on my exams each time.
Yeah.
And worked my way through my ACCA, which was a little bit of a longer process.
So can you remember the day you got your results of your final ACCA exam? How was it still through the post back then, or was it email?
Email or text.
Yeah. But tell us about that day when you discovered you'd become a fully qualified, certified chartered accountant.
So they were on a Sunday night at midnight. So it was the Sunday night, Monday morning, but it was a bank holiday.
Right.
So I was away for the weekend, and I just burst into tears. And they're going, it's okay, you can resit. I was like, no, I've passed. So I had the Monday to sort of celebrate relief.
Yeah.
And then back to work. So I got a bottle of champagne, picture on the stairs outside.
Yeah. I mean, you were our first apprentice, so you were obviously also the first person at 360 to become a qualified accountant whilst at 360. We were all very proud, as I'm sure you were, and your family, etc. Most people stop studying when they become a ACCA qualified accountant, but you decided to crack on.
I can see why they stop studying when they become qualified. So I knew that if I ever wanted to be a director or involved in running the business, it's a chartered accountancy practice. So usually you have to be a chartered accountant, not always, but usually. And I was in the mode of studying at the time. So I just decided, why not? Let's carry on. So I remember coming to you saying, I'd like to do this. Please, can you pay for it?
What did I say? Are you crazy?
Probably. So I transitioned across to do my ACA, which at the time, looking at it, I thought, it's only 3 exams. I've done that many.
Yeah.
3 more must be fine.
So what year did you become ACCA qualified? Can you remember?
2017.
Hull City of Culture year, coincidentally. Yeah. And when did you become ICAEW qualified?
2019.
Okay. So so we're now 8 years into your 360 career. Mm-hmm. What was your role in the business then?
I was a manager, I think, at that point. I'd been managing my own charity team at that point, sort of self-managing myself, still doing accounts and other things, but I had my own sort of portfolio at that point. And then I started managing 1 or 2 people. And then as things evolved in the business, we opened the York office. So one manager went to manage York. I then managed the full team in Hull.
Yeah. So we've moved from Melton to Hull at this point, haven't we? That was...
Packed up our desks, and that was
2016? 2015?
15.
Yeah. What do you remember about the move from serviced offices in Melton to our own offices in Albion Street, Hull, where we're sort of sat today?
So I was quite involved with the moving process, with a lot of spreadsheets of what does the office need, because a lot of it was taken care of in the serviced offices, needing a first aid kit, needing fire evacuation plans,
telephones.
Well, even someone just to answer the telephones. There was a lot to organise and plan for before we'd even moved, and getting quotes for things. And the move day was relatively straightforward. I brought my brother to help do all my heavy lifting. So for me, it was relatively straightforward. I left him to it.
We didn't have a lot of stuff to move because
No.
the offices were quite small and a lot of the equipment didn't belong to us.
Yeah.
Did it?
It was
so
mainly
a lot
our
of the stuff
desks.
was getting delivered straight to Hull, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was obviously a bit of a change driving into the city centre. Living in Brough and working in Melton, my commute was 5 minutes in the morning.
Yeah. Same for me, because I lived in Brough then, and I could walk to work.
I could have.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. What do you remember about the launch party that we had?
It was a good night.
Yeah.
It was a long night.
So that would have been in the July.
Yeah, June, July. It was good. I mean, it was well attended, clients, family, friends, people we work with in the city centre. And then obviously after everybody professionally had left, the team stayed behind and had a little bit of a social. And then we decided to do it all over again with next door.
Yeah, a couple of years later. So in terms of your professional career, we've now reached the stage where you are a manager. You've got loads of letters after your name, very highly qualified, experienced. What was the next step in your career ladder at 360?
So I progressed to then being a director. Obviously in that period in between, there's a fair few years, and it was more putting that knowledge into practice and just getting the years behind, getting the work experience behind, because I'd got the technical knowledge. It was sort of putting it all into practice and just sort of solidifying that, really. Managing more of the team, getting involved with more projects internally, and then progressing to being a director.
Yeah. Again, a very proud moment for me and Leanne, the other director, sort of seeing our very first apprentice progressing from being a really inexperienced young person to becoming a co-director was a very, very proud moment for us. And then he took a sort of a final step 18 months later, was it? 2 years?
2024-ish?
Yeah.
I think.
So you became a shareholder?
Yeah.
Which again was a very proud moment for me and Leanne being the other shareholders. Also a little bit of a relief having somebody else to sort of share the burden of, running the business, planning it, coming up with strategic ideas where we want the business to go, etc.
And in hindsight, having done ACA as a qualification earlier saved me a headache later down the line.
Yeah. So 15 years in now, I'm going to give you some quick fire questions.
Okay.
What are you most proud of in that 15-year period? Can you give us two or three?
How quick do you want the answers?
Give us 2 or 3 answers.
Well, the first one's qualifying, because that was a culmination of years of hard work and blood, sweat and tears went into that.
Big relief.
Oh God, yeah.
To
absolutely
box it off.
Yeah, absolutely. As a whole, the promotions, the manager, the director, shareholder, they've all been proud moments for different reasons at each one. I think one of the proudest ones is probably just sticking at it. That first year was hard. I was learning so many new things. I didn't get it straight away. It maybe took a couple of times going over things. So, not giving up at that beginning bit is probably what's got me through the remaining years.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge you've had?
So work-wise, probably COVID.
Yeah.
That took a lot of adapting. Us, the business, clients, me, everybody had to adapt, and it was a challenge. Even just, at the beginning, driving to people's houses and dropping files off. you know, can't even think of doing that now.
Safe and secure way.
Yeah, you wouldn't even think about doing that now. But it was unprecedented, wasn't it? So
yeah, I remember that day when Boris stood up and said we weren't allowed to come to work on, was it the following Tuesday? And we're like, well, I can't swear, but it was quite terrifying, wasn't it? You know, we were sort of probably 75% paperless, but how do we go 100% paperless overnight?
It was also that first morning of turning all the computers on and everyone's at home and going, is this going to work?
Yeah, we knew as individuals we could work from home, but we'd never tried everybody at the same time, had we?
How do we go about answering the phones at home, you know? How do we keep that level of service?
How do we deal with this tsunami of questions from the clients that are worried, stressed, panicking? And then there was all the business support that we had to get our heads around and communicate to the clients and claim for them, etc.
Well, furlough didn't exist, did it? You know, there's all these different things we had to adapt to. That, I think that was probably the biggest challenge. But then, like personally, I lived on my own at the time, so I was, you know, just getting up and going for a walk and getting out and getting fresh air. You know, you're having to sort of take care of yourself more because you're literally stuck indoors all day.
Yeah, tough times.
Yeah,
but I think the way the team coped with that and the way we looked after our clients during that time, I think we can all be really proud of that, actually. The accountancy world at the moment, what's going on in the profession? How is it different to when you first started 15 years ago?
I mean, everything's so much more digital now compared to 15 years ago. I mean, the biggest change at the moment is making tax digital for self-employed and landlords. So obviously that's the biggest change at the moment.
We're right in the middle of that at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, the first submissions.
Doing our first submissions from sort of 6th of July and then the deadline of 7th of August for the first lot.
But I think over the last 15 years, you know, we've had making tax digital for VAT. So we've had to adapt to that. We've had RTI for payroll. We've gone through all these digital transformations. So it's nothing we haven't already dealt with, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it is just learning a new set of rules, learning a new software, educating the clients. Some of it is, you know, understanding what HMRC's guidance is saying. So I think currently that's the biggest change.
Yeah. And then talking of change, I suppose the final change so far for you was becoming the MD of 360.
Yeah.
Back on the 1st of May. It was 1st of May, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So how has that affected your sort of day-to-day life? How tough has that been? You know, transitioning into this new role, given that you've still got, you know, lots of clients to look after, a team of people, etc.
So it's been quite a smooth process, I'd say, because we were sort of transitioning over a period of time to it. It wasn't just 30th of April I did one job and on the 1st of May it was a completely different job. So it's been quite a smooth process, I'd say. I suppose the biggest change is sort of having that decision-making element where before it maybe wasn't my final decision, whereas now it is. But it's been a bit of a juggling act because I still, as you say, I still have my clients. I do. I sit on the chair position of our foundation, so I'm involved quite heavily running that. And then just obviously my other day-to-day tasks that I get involved in as well. So it's been a bit of a juggling act at the moment.
It's been a busy few weeks for you, and in amongst all of that, you've also got married.
Yeah. So yeah, I've also had that to juggle with as well, yeah.
Which is an amazing day. You know, I was delighted to be able to be there and share that with
Couldn't not have you and Leanne there.
In an amazing setting.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was the first, it's not the first wedding at the Hull Trinity, what's it called now? The
Hullminster.
Yes, it wasn't the first wedding at Hullminster, obviously, but it was the first evening celebration of a wedding.
So
Am I right in saying
so they'd
that?
never done one when we inquired and booked it.
Yeah.
But in that 2-year period, they had then ended up doing one or two.
Yeah.
So they'd had a couple of practice runs.
Yeah. It was an amazing day.
Yeah.
Even the weather. The weather was
the weather.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? It was so hot.
We pray for hot weather. I think I prayed too hard.
Yeah. Well, your prayers were answered.
Yeah. The hottest day of the year.
Yeah. What do you think 360 and the accounting profession is going to look like in 15 years' time?
I mean, it's where AI is going to take us, in all honesty. I mean, at the minute, there's just so many softwares and so many AI solutions. It's trying to work out which is the best one for us and what does what we need, because there's hundreds out there, and all these different accountancy conferences or experts, they're all trying to sell you like for like products. So it's trying to work out which one. But I think that will then send us and the profession in a completely different direction. I think AI is going to do a lot of automating of processing, sort of the manual tasks. I think the profession's going to go more advisory.
Yeah.
So the numbers are what they are. It's how do you interpret those numbers and who can explain them. And people want that human interaction. They want someone to sit down and talk to. I think the advisory route is where we're going to see a lot of people sort of shifting their time.
Yeah, it's going to be about building relationships, isn't it? And being strategic and looking forwards and relying on AI to record accurately and quickly the historical financial information, but using humans to interpret it, analyse what it means, tax planning, etc., but also looking forwards and talking about strategy, exit strategy, etc.
I think there's going to be two routes firms go down. Either they go down the completely automated route where they can churn a lot of things out quite quickly, or they're going to go down the personal advisory route where, yes, they can maybe get the AI to do an element of it, but then there's that interaction that people want. And I think there's going to be two types of firms, really.
Yeah. Am I going to be the latter?
Yeah.
Not the former.
Yeah.
So you mentioned briefly the foundation. Tell us a little bit more about the foundation and your involvement in that.
So I've been involved from day one. So I formed the foundation with the Charities Commission.
The 360 Grassroots Foundation.
Yeah. So you had an idea, a goal, an aspiration to help children in HU1 to HU9 who are either at risk of coming out of sport or who can't get into sport through financial difficulties, and helping them either stay in sport or get into sport. So I bought into that idea, as did the rest of the team and a lot of others over the last few years. So I helped you form that. And then we had a director at the time who put together a board of trustees. And then I came and took over as chair in, I think, 2023.
I think it's been really successful in terms of raising funds through various different means. Other people not connected with 360 getting involved, doing fundraising, giving donations, etc.
So we've got our sort of headline event in April, May time each year, which is in partnership with the Hull and East Yorkshire Power Chair football team, or the Electric Eels as they go by. And then we've done other sort of supplementary events. You know, a few years ago we had a golf event. We've done darts events in the office. We're doing an event with Tigers Trust later in the year. We've done internal events to raise money, but we've been really successful, and we've had a lot of individuals do individual fundraising events to help us as well.
Yeah. And then we have 4 grant windows each year where people can apply for funding, and we help with kit, the cost of the subs, travel, more niche things like sports bras, sports glasses.
Sports glasses has been, I think that's where the foundation started really. That was the application we first got, was to help an individual who was playing football and they were told they couldn't play because of the glasses they were wearing.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of opened our eyes and identified a big need in the area. But then we've supported so many sports, you know, with swimming, not just rugby and football. We've supported cricket. We've done a whole host of different sports.
Yeah. And it's not just traditional sport, is it? It's also things like dance.
Yeah, gymnastics, trampolining.
Just anything that gets people or young people out, moving,
Yeah.
being healthy, and enjoying all of the physical and mental benefits of physical activity, really.
Yeah, I mean, we've helped inclusion football. We've done wheelchair rugby. You know, all different sports that we just want to help as many young people get active or continue to be active.
Right, finish up with 5 quick fire questions.
We'll make these quick fire.
Favourite band or singer?
One Direction.
Are they still a thing?
Well, they might reform.
Favourite food?
Oh, Greek food. Chicken gyros.
Favourite sport?
Rugby league.
Who's your favourite rugby league team?
Hull KR.
What's your favourite, or what is your hobby?
Running. I go running quite a bit.
You did the Humber Bridge half marathon.
And after swearing I'd never do another one.
For the foundation, a couple of years ago.
I've set myself a new challenge at the moment.
What's that? Go on then.
Because if I say it, it's going to have to happen.
All of our listeners are going to hear this. And
I know if I say it, it's going to happen.
You've got to say it now.
I am going to run a marathon in October.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. No, I've said it. It's going to happen.
So have you booked it? Have you like signed up for it?
Not yet, but I have started training for it.
Right. Do you know where this marathon will be?
York.
Right. Okay.
I've gone really red. The pressure now, oh my God.
I think you'll be a little bit redder at the end of the marathon.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that.
Thanks. We might cut this out if not.
And then 5th question, what's your favourite alcoholic tipple?
Oh, I like a rosé wine.
With or without ice?
Without, because it should be chilled.
Okay, that brings us to the end of this special edition of the Purple Surfer podcast. Thank you for watching. I'm Andy Steele.
I'm Sophie Holmes.
And we'll see you again very soon.